Good morning, students. Welcome back to my class. Today, we are going to start new chapter, Cell, Structure and Function. You have already learned that things around us are either living or non-living. Further, you may recall that all living organisms carry out certain basic functions. Can you list these functions? Yes, respiration, digestion, reproduction, circulation, excretion, etc. So dears, different sets of organs perform the various functions you have listed. In this chapter, you shall learn about the basic structural unit of an organ, which is the cells. The cell is the basic structural, functional and biological unit of all living organisms. So, what is cells? The cell is the basic structural, functional and biological unit of all living organisms. Cells may be compared to bricks. Bricks are assembled to make a building. Similarly, cells are assembled to make the body of every organism. Let's discuss the discovery of the cell. Robert Hooke in 1665 observed slices of cork under a simple magnifying device. Cork is a part of the bark of a tree. He took thin slices of cork and observed them under a microscope. He noticed partition boxes or compartments in the cork slice. These boxes appeared like a honeycomb. He also noticed that one box was separated from the other by a wall or partition. Who coined the term cell for each box? Cells of living organisms could be observed only after the discovery of improved microscope. So let's learn more about cells. Dears, both bricks in a building and cells in the living organisms are basic structural units. The buildings tough built of similar bricks have different designs, shapes and sizes. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another but all are made up of cells. Cells in the living organisms are complex living structures unlike non-living bricks. The egg of a hen represents a single cell and is big enough to be seen by the unaided eye. Cells exhibit a variety of shapes and sizes. Number of cells also varies from organism to organism. Some organisms are single-celled while others contain large number of cells. Let's move multicellular and unicellular organisms. What is multicellular organism? Organisms made of more than one cell are called multicellular organisms. Multi means many, cellular means cell. So, organisms made of more than one cell are called multicellular organisms. The number of cells being less in smaller organisms does not in any way affect the functioning of the organisms. Dears, look at the screen. What is this? Yes, it is amoeba and paramecium. Both organisms are made up of a single cell. The single-celled organism called unicellular organism. Uni means one, cellular means cell. So, unicellular organisms. I repeat again, the single-celled organisms called unicellular organism. A single-celled organism performs all the necessary functions that multicellular organisms perform. A single-celled organism like amoeba, it captures and digests food, respires, excretes, grows and reproduces. Similar functions in multicellular organisms are carried out by groups of specialized cells forming different tissues. Tissues in turn form organs. All of you look at the picture. How do you define the shape of amoeba in the figure? You may say that the shape appears irregular. In fact, amoeba has no definite shape. Unlike other organisms, it keeps on changing its shape. Observe the projections of varying lengths protruding out of its body. These are called pseudopodia or fawn's feet. As you learn in class 7, these projections appear and disappear as amoeba moves or feeds. A white blood cell, WBC, white blood cell, in human blood is another example of a single cell which can change its shape. But while WBC is a cell, but amoeba is a full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. Look at the pictures. It shows different cells such as blood, muscle, and nerve of human beings. The different shapes are related to their specific functions. Generally, cells are round, spherical, or elongated. Cells are round, spherical, or elongated. Some cells are long and pointed at both ends. They exhibit a spindle shape. Cells sometimes are quite long. Some are branched like the nerve cells or a neuron. The nerve cell receives and transfers messages, thereby helping to control and coordinate the working of different parts of the body. My dear students, I hope the content is clear for you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me now. So we are going to wind up our class here. Thank you. Have a nice day.